This this tiny sketchbook changed my life. And before I tell you how, I'm going to just give you a little bit of a background story to this challenge, why I wanted to do it, and show you the process of doing this sketchbook. And I actually did the sketchbook all in one day, and it really changed my life. I learned so much from it. But before we get started, I'm Erin. I'm 30 years old, and this channel is where I share my artist journey. For the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, I've been on an artist journey where I've been doing the artist way and making a lot of art and discovering my style as an artist. And this journey just hasn't been about fun for me. It's really been a therapy. It's been extensive therapy, and I feel like art is allowing me to heal and to discover myself, rediscover myself, and to find healing and joy and light. And yeah, I'm excited to take you along for the journey, and let's rewind to yesterday so I can show you the process of doing this sketchbook and how I completed this in one day. And then let's do a little tour of the sketchbook so that I can show you the art I made and tell you why it changed my life and how I think this process would be so amazing for somebody else to try, and why you should do this challenge too. So let's get into it. Let's go back to yesterday and have past Erin show you the challenge and the process of completing this sketchbook. Okay, so to get started for this challenge, I wanted to make a list of supplies I wanted to use and things I wanted to explore in the art, just in case I got stuck or didn't know what to do next. And I wanted to not forget about some of the supplies that I had. So I made the list, and then I pulled everything out, and then I just kind of used that list for reference if I got a little bit lost. And I think this was a good guide. I think to do this challenge, it's very helpful to have these lists to help you and to pull your supplies in advance. And this is the sketchbook that I got. It is a $5 mini sketchbook from Michael's, and I just put this little froggy sticker on it that I made in like 2021 maybe. And then of course I had to write tiny sketchbook challenge in it and get it all set up. Okay, so to start, I went in with Flair pens, and I've been doodling a lot in my journal when I do my morning pages and in my daily planner with Flair pens. So this felt like a really comfortable, organic place to start, and it felt kind of freeing and just like comfortable to start with some of the doodles that I have been doing every day. So I let myself do that, and I picked out color combinations that I felt were really fun and I wanted to explore. So I loved this pink and green and blue, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun. And you'll see after this little clip that I worked on this piece with Taylor Swift lyrics. I am literally like so obsessed with using words from I Can Do It With a Broken Heart and like making them these little kind of prints. So naturally I had to do that in this sketchbook as well. Next, I got out the Prismacolors, which are new to me, and I I feel like I don't feel very confident when it comes to colored pencils yet, which is funny because I love the texture of them and I love these pencil crayons so much. Like, they're buttery smooth, they are so vibrant. I feel like when I'm drawing on my iPad, I gravitate towards brushes of this texture, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel very confident with them yet. So this was a really good kind of icebreaker to forcing myself to use them. And I drew some of these hands from reference photos and it was a little rough, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm still learning how to draw realistic things, and my style tends to be way more illustrative and cartoony, and like my hands and feet are literal circles or blobs. So it's gonna be a work in progress, but I do like the way these colors turned out and kind of incorporating the shapes. So it was a good learning experience, that's for sure. And I got the Art X or Artix, I don't know how to say it, acrylic paint markers. This was the star of the sketchbook. This was the medium that I gravitated the most towards. I feel like I should have known I would love these this much, because I have this small set of acrylic markers that are really fine, and I don't love that they're that fine. Like, I feel like it's harder for me to get what I want. And when I started my sketchbook a couple months ago, they were like the first thing that I used in my sketchbook, and I loved them, but they just didn't quite work how I wanted them. So these are my acrylic marker fantasy. I love how you don't have to like press down the tip. I love how they just paint. They are so smooth. They are so vibrant. It is truly, truly a treat. But I did have a few kind of like leak a little bit, probably just from me. I don't even know. Like, I just should have been more careful. I should have put something down on my desk when I started using them, but you'll see halfway I put a garbage bag down. But yeah, I had so much fun with these. I actually went back to them to finish the sketchbook because I just wanted to use them again so badly. So I absolutely love these. Like, so many amazing colors, so vibrant, just like such a fun experience.
Okay. Hello. Can I give you pets? Oh, a big yawn.
Okay, so it is almost 2:30 and I just took a break to go for a walk and stretch and have a little snack, but I am almost halfway through the sketchbook. Honestly, this has been such a cool experience so far because I don't feel like anything I've made is like revolutionary or my best art ever, but an experience like this has been so fun because I'm basically going for loose and speed and exploration over perfection. And I think that as somebody who has not always tried, like, I think as an artist, it's so easy to feel like everything you make has to be amazing or awesome or like be great. And especially when it comes to using art supplies, I don't know what it is. There's something about like, oh, I don't want to use my new gouache set until I feel good enough to use it. But it's like, you're never gonna get good enough like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like we learn and grow by doing, and yeah, like some of the pieces I've made in here I like absolutely find ridiculous, but some of them are fun, and I think the looseness and the speed has allowed me to explore. I feel like I've learned and grown so much just from doing this in one day. So let's see if I can finish this. I'm gonna get out the Hemi gouache and the watercolor markers and try to finish the sketchbook. It's been such a cool experience. I would totally recommend this to anybody. I think it's so rewarding to be able to just rapidly iterate and create with different supplies and do it in a hands-on way, and to do it fast is just so loose and exciting. Anyways, let's see if we can finish it. We did it, folks. What a liberating experience, that's for sure. So chunky. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to chat about it tomorrow. Okay, welcome to my little tiny sketchbook tour. I finished this in one day, as I said. I put this sticker on it that I made a few years ago of like these little frogs with florals, and I had put these little labels on it before. And then I just said tiny sketchbook 1 day challenge, and then I first used the flare pens, so I just kind of explored with some of the little doodles I've been doing lately that I think are becoming my signature. And I'm obsessed with putting Taylor Swift quotes from her song I Can Do It With a Broken Heart in like these little rainbows. I don't know, I made one, it's like up on my wall. I made a different one before in my other I've made two in my other sketchbook actually. I love it. I love that song so much. I'm so obsessed with her new album. Anyways, also I love this mug here so much. Sorry, I am being a squirrel. Then I just did this, You Are Alive. And I did these flowers. I love doing kind of like cone flowers. I love like doing them swirly. And I was trying to just make as much art as I could fast and iterate quickly and just play. Like it was so much fun. I did this kind of like line thing, which kind of reminded me of like geodes, like smashing open rocks. And then I just did some little doodles again in my style. And I loved how this turned out, kind of like a little gardening girl. And then some more cone flowers over here. I liked this color combination so much. And then some Taylor Swift fans will know this quote. It's like a literal fantasy. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's something Miss Taylor Allison Swift has said. And then I've been listening to the Creative Pep Talk podcast a lot lately with Andy J. Pizza. I love that podcast literally so much. And he talked about internal family systems, which is a therapy model, and like identifying the parts of yourselves that are in yourself and drawing them out. And so I did that. So I have like sadness, zest, literary, like reading and writing, chaos. But I made chaos really like calm and comfortable. Like I think the chaos that lives in my life, it can sometimes, like I have ADHD, so it can be really hard, but I think that like in its entirety, like the chaos isn't trying to make everything so hard. It just like loves being there and like takes over space naturally. And then like creativity is also kind of like blobby, like chaos. I kind of explored this a little bit more later in the sketchbook as well. And then I have Butterfly Fly Away, I don't know, Hannah Montana. And this reminded me of like Lizzie McGuire in like early 2000s. And then I did another Taylor Swift lyric, Sadness Became My Whole Sky. I like how this turned out too. And then I started using the Prismacolor and did some more coneflowers, kind of that similar color combination too, with like the orange and the purple. And then I tried to draw some hands, a bit of a disaster, but I like how some of them turned out. And then I made this little fish. And then I did this little like mushroom house. And these flowers again. A lot of flowers are in here. Some shapes, kind of like 80s vibes. Some more flowers and doodles. Did this like mushroom, and then this frog emerged, and then you will see this frog throughout the sketchbook because I literally became obsessed with him. I feel like I'm gonna name him Franklin the Frog. And then I drew Franklin's pad, the pad, even though I feel like this is different than Franklin. I don't know, maybe there's multiple frogs that make an appearance. And then I just explored like some little expressions. And then I designed this sticker, Be Gay, Make Bad Art, because I honestly feel like that really resonates with my entire life. Like all I want to do is be gay and make bad art. So I want to make this a real sticker. And then again, be gay, make bad art. This is a recurring theme. This is my mantra from this sketchbook, but love this color combination as well, like purple, green, pink, and then kind of played with that a little bit here as well. More flowers, more flowers, more Taylor Swift lyrics. And then since I did the spaceship, I was like, I'm gonna make a little alien guy. And then this is where I started using the Art X acrylic paint markers. Absolutely obsessed. I feel like this sketchbook just like allowing myself the freedom and flexibility to like iterate and explore was so liberating, and it literally changed my life. I feel like so many times as an artist, I feel like I'm just so in my head and I'm like, what should I make? How should I make it? This just literally was like, okay, I'm just gonna make and make and make and explore, and that was so freeing. And I feel like I just see like certain elements of my style coming out. And I did these fish with this paint pen, and I loved like the neon ones. Here's where you can see that I've become obsessed with the neon ones, but yeah. And then I did this like shine bright, kind of like a geometric diamond with the neon colors. And then this is one of my favorite ones, I think, from the whole sketchbook. And then just played again with shapes, but with those neon colors, neon flowers, pastel like sweets and macarons. And then I made the frog comes back again. And then I love this peach color with this green. So I drew a peach, and then I wrote just peachy. I feel like just seeing the cascade of thoughts, like this really is a glimpse into my ADHD brain, but it was very, very liberating to allow myself to go there. Another butterfly and flower. I did these kind of like Andy Warhol-esque fruits. I feel pretty happy with how these came out. I kind of wish I filled in a bit more of the spread, but it's fine. And then I did a watermelon and some shapes, and I was too impatient to wait for it to dry. And the resurgence of the frog, and this is where I switched to the markers. And then this like rainbow kind of character. And then more shapes and lines. I liked this color combo though. I kept exploring it though. I was like, this color combo is so good, and I just kind of did it beside each other. I used to be like really weird about color for a long stretch of time. I was like a beige millennial, boring person, but now I love having so much color, especially in my art and in like accessories and clothes and stuff now. And I think that this journey has really helped that, and exploring color in this way has been really fun and really impactful. Some lines with those colors. I did this like kind of like flower spread. And then I liked this color combo too. I love this cobalt blue. I think I want to get it on my nails soon. And then more flowers. And then this is where I tried the watercolor markers. Absolutely did not like them. Probably my own fault, was probably not using them correctly, but yeah, I gave up on that really quickly. And then here's where I used gouache, which I did love, but was also way too impatient. So I learned a lot about my own patience and how In some ways, this exercise was really good for getting out of my head, getting onto the page, for just making freely, not worrying about things being perfect. Like, there's something so liberating about using up the whole sketchbook in one day. You don't have time to worry about it being good or bad. You just make, and then you have this like finished artifact, which I feel like is so rewarding. And I feel like as an artist, like, I try not to put too much pressure on product and like quantity, but I feel like sometimes when we get too hung up on quality, we don't make either. This little kind of like scene with the gouache. And then I did this flower piece, which I liked, but then I did not wait for it to dry. This reveals a lot about me as a person. Did this kind of spread, which I kind of liked. I did intentionally smoosh the pages to transfer this, which I like. And then I did these like little dots and kind of overlapped them and then intentionally squished them in. And then I went back later and I added this quote with a Sharpie, "The right spot right now." And I just was thinking a lot about like, you know, life can be really hard and you can feel like you're not really getting where you want to be, or not achieving things, or not having success. And I think sometimes we discredit the steps we are taking. It's like that little seed that's like germinating and you can't really see anything yet, but it is working. All those things are doing like the hard work to lay the roots, you know? So the right spot right now, I don't know, that resonated with me. And I did like this, but again, I didn't wait for it to dry, so same with this. This was kind of a weird color combo though. I do really love this like ochre color for autumn though. And then this was the piece that I spent a good amount of time on and actually let it dry with the gouache. I did this fish, which I actually really like. And then I went back in with the Arctic's metallic markers and put these kind of like bluish scales. It's kind of reminding me of a childhood novel that I was obsessed with called, what was it called? It's the one about the fish with the scale. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. Please comment the name if you know the book I'm talking about. But I loved that book so much as a kid. I loved the way the metallic scales shimmered. I read that book so many times. So yeah, I like this piece. I think this is one of my favorite pieces, and I added kind of like these bubbles, and I did a lot of texture with the scales and with the dots. And yeah, I really like gouache. It was my first time really exploring with gouache, but I liked it. And then just more shapes, and then I loved this color combo. Did some lettering. And then I started exploring like clothes, because it was one thing that I wrote down that I could explore if I ran out of ideas. So this was the end of the book and I was just giving her. But yeah, I loved this color combo so much. I love this so much. I want to do something digitally with these colors, like so beautiful. And then some more lines, kind of like a geometric print, which I do really like, and I like the color. So this could be a cool thing to explore either in a painting or a print or a postcard or something digitally. And these little flowers as well. I really liked how this turned out too. And then I just explored more flowers and like bows and things with this color combo, which I liked. And at this point is when I started feeling really just like connected to my inner child and just making the things that I would have loved or found fun as a kid. Like, I think a lot of times growing up I felt, and I still struggle with, like, a lot of my art is not like super realistic. It's not like I draw like super lifelike figures or scenes or anything. And like, my mom is an amazing artist and she'll be like, when are you gonna start drawing real stuff? And sometimes I like to explore that, but sometimes I'm just like, I like making weird kind of childish things and frogs, and that's okay. Like, I'm allowed to make this art, and I can still want to grow and learn and get better at like more real life drawing, but at the same time, like, my little frog is cute and I can carve out space for myself. And then this is where the real inner child work really came out and really stuck with me. And I think that's why this challenge like really did impact my life. When I was 4 or 5, there was a painting that my parents kept on the wall from when I was in kindergarten, and it was of these like figures of me and my parents, and I drew us like this, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna really indulge like that childlike way of creating. And so I started to draw like shape figures, and this looks really close to how I drew like myself and my parents. I just drew them in different sizes. But yeah, and then I went on this whole exploration of doing these little kind of figures like I did in my childhood style, and I felt like it really connected to that exercise I did at the beginning, like the parts of yourself Andy J Pizza exercise that he was talking about on his podcast. I can't even find it now, but I just felt like, wow, like this is like a part of me, these funny, quirky, like shape people and shape figures, and I had so much fun with it. So I really want to like dig into this a bit more because I feel like these really speak to my inner child, and they were so fun and silly, and I just love them so much. And then I was like, bad art really is the key. Like allowing yourself to make bad art is what I feel like is helping me so much just to heal and to grow as a human and like as an artist. And like I feel like through all the bad art and stuff that isn't great, I'm like finding my style. And like also like even though this is like not a great key and not great lettering and not great color theory and all this stuff, I'm like, this is still so fun to me and is valuable. And I think that that like, you know, as a human is just such a cool realization. Like, and I also wrote like little me was and is a wonderful art. Oh dear, my my camera ran out of memory, so I had to do that. But I was just saying, like, I feel as though everybody has their own stories and experiences, and something that I really love that Andy J Pizza talked about in his Skillshare course is art is less about finding your style and like creating your style and more about excavating, like self-excavating, like digging deep, like going through like, how did I draw little figures as a little kid? What stuff did I like as a little kid? And like, how did I show up in the world and what was I interested in? And I feel like all of this, the flowers, the colors, the little characters, the animals, the lettering, all of that is just like little parts of me that were already in me. So and then I just wrote little me was and is a wonderful artist. And I feel like that's just so affirming to my inner child. And then naturally I ended the sketchbook with the Be Gay and Make Bad Art sticker idea and the end. And I think that this was just such a wonderful exercise because, like I said, it got me out of the page, it got me into the art, it got me making and creating and exploring. And now I feel like, although this isn't like the most amazing thing and I can like sell a bunch of art from this, or like, you know, I developed such an amazing skill, at least I'm like, wow, I really loved this character. I want to make an art print with her or explore like a story and like illustrations with her. Or, you know, I really loved these color combos, or, you know, I really loved these parts of myself and how can I explore them deeper. And I really loved these color combos with these supplies and using the acrylic markers, and I want to take this and explore making it like a print or like a phone background. Like I just feel like there's so many ideas that come out when you let yourself freely create and make, and it is so worth it and so rewarding. And if I could encourage you to get one of these, it's literally $5, and just let yourself make whatever pops into your brain and make ugly art and bad art and silly art and fun and colorful or pencil, like whatever you want to explore, just do it. And I'm excited. I kind of want to do one of these like every season, and I feel like this book is very like spring, very summer, very colorful, which is very aligned for right now. But I could see in the autumn me wanting to lean more towards like oranges and browns and like really cozy kind of like autumnal palette. So yeah, I encourage you, buy one of these $5 sketchbooks at Michael's, make a bunch of art, and give yourself one day to yourself. Give yourself that artist date for the whole day and let yourself play and explore, because I think this sketchbook could maybe also change your life as well. Okay, it cut me off again, but I just want to say thank you so much for following along for the journey. I appreciate you so much. It has felt so comforting to know I'm not alone in this art journey. And if you do a tiny sketchbook challenge, I would love to hear about it. Yeah, just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This community has meant so much to me and has been a big part of my healing and a big part of my journey, knowing I'm not alone and that there are other people going through this, and that there are people that find interest in my journey, and art is so amazing. And I just want to thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.